Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Gas and Gavel video channel. Today we are going to take a look at this 1999 Toyota 4Runner SR5. This Toyota 4Runner is finished in a rare Imperial Jade Mica with a contrasting tan leather interior. Imperial Jade Mica was a rare color option in the third generation Toyota 4Runner. It is described as a metallic pearl dark green hue, and it definitely looks really great on third generation 4Runner. And it especially looks really great in the sunlight. You can definitely see the pearls, you can definitely see the metallic. Again, one of the more rare color choices in the third generation Toyota 4Runner. In the United States, the Toyota 4Runner was offered in 3 trims: a base model, an SR5 that you see in front of us, and a limited model. Within the third generation 4Runners, the 1999 Toyota 4Runner is actually very significant. In 1999, Toyota added significant mid-cycle updates as far as exterior, electronics, and interior. And I'm gonna go over those updates from 1999 in this 1999 Toyota 4Runner. This is the third generation Toyota 4Runner, and in my personal opinion, the third generation Toyota 4Runner is the best Toyota 4Runner out of every single generation, even the most current generation of the 4Runner. I truly believe that the third generation Toyota 4Runner is today's modern classic. And the demand for the third generation Toyota 4Runner has shot through the roof over the past few years. The third generation Toyota 4Runner was released in 1995 and ran all the way to 2002. The third generation Toyota 4Runner was very significant because it's when the Toyota 4Runner actually became an SUV. If you guys see previous, the first and second generation and so forth of the Toyota 4Runner, the original Toyota 4Runner wasn't even an SUV. It was actually just a essentially a Tacoma truck with kind of like a rear trunk cap put on top. And the third generation was significant because then it became a real SUV, and Toyota did again an amazing job converting what was essentially a Toyota truck into an actual mid-sized SUV. And although not a trim level, but a very coveted option for this generation's Toyota 4Runner, there was a option to add a sport package for an additional fee to the Toyota 4Runner. And I think that it's a great choice to add it, because what you get is several different exterior upgrades, but one of the primary upgrades that you get that no other 4Runner gets is this really cool and functional hood scoop to help cool that V6. Again, this is fully functional. You have a mesh grill on the inside, and it essentially functions essentially like a ram air hood, pushing cold air right on top into that V6. So again, this car is optioned with the optional sport package. Very, very cool. So the third generation Toyota 4Runner is offered in both two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. The Toyota 4Runner that we're looking at today is optioned with the two-wheel drive. And powering this third generation Toyota 4Runner are two different motors. The first one that was initially offered in the 4Runner was a 2.7 liter inline 4 motor making 150 horsepower and 170 foot-pounds of torque. Shortly thereafter, Toyota then offered the other motor, which is the 3.4 liter V6 producing 183 horsepower and 217 foot-pounds of torque. This particular 4Runner in front of us is gratefully and luckily optioned with the V6 motor. And two transmission choices were offered in the third generation Toyota 4Runner. The first was a automatic transmission, and the second was a essentially a 5-speed manual transmission, which is a pretty rare offering in the 1990s, and it's still a pretty rare offering today in 2025. So again, two transmission choices, automatic or manual. Let's begin the exterior tour of this 1999 Toyota 4Runner SR5. Starting with the front end. And here are your quintessential squared headlights of the 1990s. What is really amazing about these halogen low beam and high beam headlights is that back in the days in the 90s, manufacturers were not cheap. This entire headlight housing is made out of glass. You can knock on it, very, very sturdy. What I really do love about glass headlights is that I've had numerous cars from the 90s and the 2000s or whatnot, and a lot of the manufacturers use plastic headlights, and over time those plastic headlights become cloudy, they become yellow. But this is a 1999 Toyota 4Runner. I've never once serviced these headlights, and again, glass headlights, clear as the day it left the factory at Toyota in 1999. So again, classic design plus again, classic quality on the part of Toyota for going with the more expensive glass headlights. Within the side marks of the side of the headlight, you do have an amber turn signal that's integrated into that glass housing. Right in front, you have the Toyota emblem, surrounded by, again, this paint matched mesh grille that is definitely functional. You can definitely see the radiator in there. So again, I love how they painted that body color. Definitely very stylish and functional. As stated earlier in the first part of the 1999 Toyota 4Runner review, the 1999 model, the third generation Toyota 4Runner, had significant mid-cycle changes, and most of those mid-cycle changes were cosmetic, and they took place right here in this front bumper. In 1999, Toyota decided to integrate these fog lights right into the bumper. Very clean install, something you don't see nowadays, but again, this was one of the major updates for the 1999 model year. Definitely looks really good, integrates very, very well, and is functional as well. They also redesigned the front bumper to give it a more I would probably say more off-road presence, with again that black plastic trim. But I love how they contrast it with, again, the body color paint of that front bumper. Again, the Imperial Jade pearl looks really great, and then they finish the bottom part with, again, that flat black finish. And again, that's pretty smart because the bottom part of this bumper definitely probably gets a lot of damage from going off-road, so it's pretty smart for them to keep that in a more durable flat black plastic. So again, this is probably one of those classic design front bumper, and they did a really great job designing it. It gives it both a sporty and luxurious and tough off-road look. Now, one of my more favorite design elements in the front end of the third generation Toyota 4Runner, especially this third generation Toyota 4Runner, is what you see in the hood. Again, this hood has an integrated, functional, meshed hood scoop. Definitely gives the hood the 4Runner hood a very aggressive look to it, as well as adding some functionality to help cool that V6 motor. Again, to note, not all third generation 4Runners came with this hood scoop. This hood scoop was basically an optional trim. Basically, you would have to option for the sport package, which again gave you this integrated hood scoop. I love how they molded it right in. Definitely reminds me of those 1960s muscle cars with the huge hood scoop. So again, that was probably one of my more favorite design elements, and I love how it's, for such a boxy styling, Toyota took a risk on it and did that vent in there. So again, this was available as an optional trim package. I believe it's called the Sport Trim Package from Toyota. Let's take a look at the wheel and tire package of the 1999 third generation Toyota 4Runner SR5. And here they are. Classic 5-spoke alloys. They measure 16 inches. And I had them rewrapped with these Yokohama Geolander HTs. But again, very classic Toyota 4Runner styling with the Toyota center cap in the middle. Behind that, you do have disc brakes in the front and rear. Again, very classic and very durable style. Let's scroll onto the back. Again, here are your silver finished 16-inch alloy wheels in 5-spoke. Definitely wide enough to, again, fill those wide fender flares. So again, perfect fitment from Toyota. Classic style. Again, the rears also have drum brakes behind that, and the classic Toyota center cap. And above that hood scoop, integrated into the hood, you do have your windshield washer outlets to clean that windshield for when you're going off-road. The front fender has a very subtle inclusion. In the front fender, you do have a powered antenna that hides away into the passenger side fender. Very cool. You don't see these anymore in 2025. And I believe Toyota in 1999 integrated that antenna very smoothly, and you would probably miss it if you didn't stare at the fender long enough. This particular 1999 Toyota 4Runner did come with these black running boards, and they are straight factory from Toyota, hence the stamped Toyota logo. Again, they provide an aggressive look, but also provide function because the Toyota 4Runner is a little taller than most other cars, so it's a good, nice little side step to get into the seat of the tall Toyota 4Runner. So again, these are factory produced and included in this car, the running boards. And I love how they provided a little bit of chrome trim at the bottom. Very cool, kind of like a little luxurious feature. So again, these are the running boards that are, again, integrated into those wide body fender flares. The third generation Toyota 4Runner does come with these huge side mirrors. In certain models, they are powered. In this one, it isn't, but they do fold in and they do fold back out in case you encounter some sort of tight parking situations. But again, in this one that you see here is not powered, but in certain third generation models, they do have the powered side mirrors. I think that is very clean, very integrated, and again, very functional because it's very huge. Again, allowing you to see what's to the left and right of your Toyota 4Runner when you're on the road. This Toyota 4Runner also has the factory sunroof integrated in the top. And that is really, really good function to have, especially if you live in Southern California. Beach days with the sunroof down, nothing better. Behind that integrated sunroof are these factory roof racks installed by Toyota in case you need extra storage options in your Toyota 4Runner. The third generation Toyota 4Runner may not be a race car, but it does have this rear integrated spoiler from Toyota. Toyota calls it a windscreen, but I call it, again, if you look very closely, that has the pedestal stands. It definitely looks like a spoiler to me. So again, I think this is very, very cool. It's finished in a flat black, and they even cut a little trim in the middle so that you can see that third brake light. Again, I think it works very, very well, and I'm sure it provides some sort of wind noise protection when you have that rear window down in your Toyota 4Runner. And one of the most recognizable features of a Toyota 4Runner is definitely this rear window here. It may not look like much, but to access the trunk, you can either open this entire hatch, or you can use a key, you can use a remote, or there's a button on the dash to again roll that rear window down. And again, this design element of this powered rear window carries over to the most current Toyota 4Runner. And I really love that feature because, again, sometimes when you want to load stuff into your 4Runner, you don't need to open the whole trunk. You can just roll that down, pull it out, put it in. And again, it also provides another avenue of enjoyment, I suppose. I really love on hot nights to just roll down all four windows, and when you put down this rear hatch, again, it feels like you're driving around in a four-door SUV convertible. So again, one of my favorite features is that powered rear window that slides down. Functional and stylish. The Toyota 4Runner has this huge rear quarter glass. I really love how they integrated that in. It makes the interior definitely very, very bright. Although they do not open nor close, but they do provide, again, just ambiance in a already let's swing around to the rear. And the rear, you do have these integrated mud flaps that are, again, integrated into those wide body fender flares. Underneath, you do have this single tip exhaust, that V6 in the front. This Toyota came factory installed with a factory Toyota tow hitch. And in the next video that you'll see, I actually lived in a RV for about a month, and I used this exact Toyota 4Runner to tow it, and that'll be in the next video. But again, I used this factory tow hitch, and it worked beautifully. The taillights of the third generation Toyota 4Runner is quintessential 90 square, and it works. You have, again, the red painted brake lights with the amber turn signal in the clear plastic trim. Clean, simple, and timeless design. On the rear hatch, you do have your integrated license plate holder with lights underneath. You have your key access to access your trunk, lock and unlock. Of course, you have your Toyota emblem and your other Toyota emblem and your 4Runner, and also, if you spec'd it, your SR5 emblem. I love how Toyota paint matched the rear bumper to match the rest of the body. I think it gives it really clean lines. And then integrated into the rear bumper, you do have, again, these this plastic, I guess, like rear running board. Again, it's great to have because when you're loading heavy furniture or heavy items, you don't want to damage that bumper. And plus, if you're going to tie stuff to a roof, it makes a great step where you just step on that and jump right up. Or like I said, you can step on that and jump right up without damaging your rear bumper. And on to my most favorite exterior feature of the third generation Toyota 4Runner, and it is these integrated wide body fender flares mounted into the body. Now, earlier generation, third generation Toyota 4Runners did not have any fender flares, and I deem those the narrow bodies. So to clarify, there are 4 trim options for the third generation Toyota 4Runner. And based upon the trim level, you would get different flares depending on which trim you went with. So there was these small chrome trims for the base model. This is the medium-sized flare that are unpainted in the SR5 trim. And if you opt for the limited model of the third generation Toyota 4Runner, you not only got body match painted fender flares, but those fender flares are actually wider than the ones you see here in the SR5. Either way, I think that these fender flares, even unpainted, definitely adds an aggressive look to the car that's not only functional, but also again provides just a little bit more room to put wider tires or wheels for off-roading and so on and so forth. But again, that is my most favorite feature of this Toyota 4Runner, and I think it definitely again creates that timeless design because of those classic fender flares. I love how the fender flares are all integrated into the side running boards, into the front bumper, and to the back. Even the mud flap is integrated into that, again, rear SR5 unpainted wide body fender flare. Definitely one of my favorite exterior features of the third generation Toyota 4Runner. And I want to note for everybody that the Toyota 4Runner is made in either two-wheel drive, which is what you see here, or all or four-wheel drive. And there's a subtle difference between the suspension with the four-wheel drive and the two-wheel drive. So the two-wheel drive is actually, the suspension is actually lower or shorter than the four-wheel drive model. The two-wheel drive model sits half an inch lower than the four-wheel drive model of this same car. So again, the reason I feel the Toyota did that was because, again, I imagine with the four-wheel drive, many people took this car off-road and they need a little bit more of that ground clearance. So again, the two-wheel drive model is half an inch lower suspension-wise than the same third-generation four-wheel drive model of this same vehicle. So I want to take this opportunity to focus on this rear window here. So this rear window actually is a quintessential 4Runner design feature. And the beautiful thing about this rear window is that you're able to essentially roll it down using either your remote fob, or there's a switch on the dash, or you can use what I'm going to do now, the analog key. And essentially 4Runner allows you to, again, basically roll down this rear window and access your trunk without opening the entire hatch. And I can tell you right now that this is probably one of my favorite. It's my favorite design feature of the third generation Toyota 4Runner because again, it allows for two things. Number one, it allows you convenience. So if you want to get something from your trunk or put something in your trunk, you don't have to lift that entire hatch up and put it all the way down. You can go ahead and just roll that window down and just throw your things in or pull your things out. The second thing that I really do love about the roll down rear window is essentially that when you roll down all the windows, including the rear window, as I've done here, this car essentially becomes almost like an open air convertible. I really love putting down all the windows and putting that rear window down and opening up that sunroof. So again, it just gives you this really crazy, this open air feel in a SUV. So again, if you ever go to a beach or otherwise, or even if you're not at the beach and you just drive around town, I love the roll down rear window. Offers convenience, and it also is another luxurious feature that allows you to, again, enjoy a complete open air experience in your third generation Toyota 4Runner. Let's take a look at the engine compartment of this 1999 Toyota 4Runner SR5. This Toyota 4Runner SR5 is equipped with the V6 motor. And here it is. Here is your 3.4 liter V6 engine producing 183 horsepower and 217 foot-pounds of torque. front and center, Toyota definitely wants you to know that this is a 3.4 liter 4-cam, 24 valves, and they even stamped the engine code right at the bottom there, 5VZFE. Very cool. So this motor is a 3.4 liter V6, 24 valve dual overhead cams, again making 183 horsepower at 4,800 RPM and 217 foot-pounds of torque at a low 3,600 RPM. And the great thing about this engine is that Toyota attached it to 2 different transmissions. So you have an option of a 5-speed manual transmission, or what's equipped here in this 4Runner that you see here, it is equipped with the 4-speed automatic transmission. And again, all that power is routed to either the rear wheels or to all 4 wheels, because the 4Runner does come in 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive forms. Let's begin the interior tour of this 1999 Toyota 4Runner, and we'll start with the driver's side door panel. You have a center leather trimmed area surrounded by a tan vinyl. You do have an integrated tweeter, which is pretty fancy for 1999. And the controls are pretty simple. You have a window up, window down for all 4 windows. There are an option for child safety locks, and you also have your side mirror controls right on top of the window controls. Now let's take a look at the cockpit of the 1999 Toyota 4Runner. And here it is. So again, the cockpit of the 1999 Toyota 4Runner is essentially straight, especially when you look at this leather wrapped steering wheel. Definitely quintessential 1990s. I'm pretty sure almost every parent or Asian parent otherwise had one of these steering wheels on their Toyotas or Fords. So again, you have a pretty sturdy steering wheel for a Japanese car. In the center, you do have the center horn with a airbag. And let's take a listen to the horn. Yep. 1990 is very, very loud. Again, very, very simple. There are no fancy buttons on the steering wheel. It's just a strip steering wheel and a horn. Right behind the steering wheel on the left-hand side, you do have your headlight control stalk is located to the left of the steering wheel, and you turn the knob forward to turn on your high beams and low beams, and you pull back to turn on your high beams and push forward to turn on the high beams. To the right of the steering wheel, you have your windshield wiper controls and windshield wiper button. So if your windshield gets dirty, you can go ahead and press this button here, and it'll spray the windshield cleaner in front and automatically clean your windshield. Right behind this steering wheel, you do have your analog instrument cluster. Very, very simple setup. Again, on the left you have your RPM gauge, you have your miles per hour, and you have your gas meter and your engine temp control. And at the bottom left, you do have your PRND2L for your 5-speed automatic transmission. So again, things in the 90s are definitely much more simple, easy to read, no frills. Again, I really do like the setup of these analog exotics have transitioned to these touch electronic screens. It's a breath of fresh air to behold analog gauges. To the right of your instrument cluster, you do, dead center, you have your emergency lights. You do have your squared AC outlet. I do want to note that with the AC outlet design, I like how they went with the square design, very similar to, again, the headlight and taillight design of the Toyota 4Runner. A leather wrapped airbag with a lockable glove compartment for storage right underneath to store away your valuables. Underneath your emergency light button, you do have a digital clock, and underneath your digital clock is where you will find your AC controls. So here are your climate controls. Very, very simple. Everything is analog, hot, cold, AC, very, very straightforward. Now, the owner of this vehicle decided to remove the OEM stereo and replaced it with a Pioneer head unit. But if the Pioneer head unit was not in this place, you would definitely find a tape deck with a 6-disc CD changer and AM/FM radio. So I want to share one of my favorite buttons in the Toyota 4Runner. And if you guys know my previous videos, I really do enjoy the minute I step into any sort of test drive is to look for the race button or the sport button. How do I put it into race mode? And I was actually shocked when I found out that that's 1999 Toyota 4Runner. It does have a quote-unquote race button, and that race button is essentially right here on top of your climate controls, and it's called ECT. So that ECT button here, it stands for electronically controlled transmission. According to Toyota, essentially when you press that button, when it's activated, it basically changes the transmission shift points to hold the gears longer and increase power delivery. Outside of those technical terms, I can just tell you right now that when you press that button, I can tell you right now this car gets a little bit faster and a little bit more powerful. I said before that the car is a little slow. It's still slow, but it's not as slow when you do press the ECT button. So I assume Toyota put the ECT button in place because times when you, for example, you may be towing a heavy load and you may need that extra torque to get over a hill. You're going to go ahead and press that button right there. For me, I actually just press that button whenever I hit the freeway or I feel like blowing past a few cars. So again, one of my favorite buttons on the dash of the Toyota 4Runner is definitely this ECT button right here. Right up top, you have a very, very simple rear view mirror. You do have the glasses holder right here. And a la Doug DeMuro, Doug DeMuro's review on the 3rd generation Toyota 4Runner, these buttons up here essentially are for you to put your garage door remote, and then you can go ahead and close it up, and essentially you're able to it's basically like a 1990s home link essentially, which I thought was pretty cool, and shout out to Doug DeMuro for pointing that out in his review. Above the sunglass holder, you do have your interior dome lights and your switch for your powered sunroof, which is one of my favorite parts of the Toyota 4Runner besides the rear view window. So again, this sunroof is powered and you can tilt it and open it halfway or open it full ways. There is a manual cover in case it gets too hot. You can go ahead and close it up. So again, you do have a manual cover in case it gets too hot, but this car is equipped with the sunroof option. Both passenger and driver get these pretty sturdy windshield visors. Only the passenger actually gets a mirror for some reason. So the Toyota 4Runner has the option for a manual transmission. This one happens to be equipped with the automatic transmission. And again, this is the two-wheel drive model. So this is the 5-speed that comes with the two-wheel drive Toyota 4Runner. Very, very simple. If you guys ever had like a 1990s or 1980s Toyota, this is essentially the same shift knob that they use. My dad had like a 1984 Toyota Corolla, and then when I jumped into this 1999 Toyota 4Runner and I saw this shift knob, I was like, man, it's the same exact transmission shifter. But anyways, so again, very, very simple. It's 5 speeds and PRND2L, very, very straightforward, and you do have an overdrive. Underneath that, you do have your manual emergency brake. And if you did have the 4-wheel drive option, in its place of this shift knob, you would have, again... All right, let's take a look at the back seats of this 1999 Toyota 4Runner. And here are your rear seats. all leather wrapped in that tan leather. I want to note that these seats are fully reclinable. The headrests are fully removable, and I'll demonstrate afterwards. But let's go and see what it is to be a passenger in the 4Runner. And here I am. So I can tell you right now that this rear seat of the Toyota 4Runner is definitely very, very roomy. Lots of room for your rear seat passengers. It seats 5 very, very comfortably. Not bad. Your rear seat passengers do have their own mechanical cup holder here. Very, very cool. So 2 cup holders there and a little trash bag. I do want to note that in the higher trim models, there is a option for a rear seat climate control. This car is not equipped with it, but again, there is that option. So again, the rear seats are super comfortable. They're roomy enough for any sized adult, big and small, and children will definitely be very, very comfortable. Again, this car is made to basically take passengers to and from places safely, reliably, and as comfortably as possible. And again, these rear seats are definitely very comfortable. Lots and lots of leg room, and lots of shoulder room. The only thing that's lacking, I wish that they did put in the rear seat, is basically like a fold down armrest for the rear seat passengers. Unfortunately, that is not there, but that would have been very helpful. But otherwise, the rear seat of the Toyota 4Runner is definitely adequate for most families. All right, let's take a look at the trunk of your 1999 Toyota 4Runner. In order to open the trunk, there is a little latch right above the license plate. You just give it a good pull, and the lift gate opens right up. And here is your entire trunk of your 1999 Toyota 4Runner. So the trunk features various tie down points in case you need to move things and tie things down or whatnot. So there's multiple points there. There's also this little cool storage compartment on the right side that you can go ahead and open up. And when you do, there's a nice little storage compartment. From what I understand, there should have been some sort of air compressor in here. I'm not really sure, but my point is that either way, there's additional little bit of storage in case you need to you know, hide some contraband and whatnot. So there is a little cool little quirky storage spot right here that closes up, and that kind of blends in with the wall. Definitely very, very cool. And the second most unique feature of the Toyota 4Runner that I really did like, and which was odd because I didn't discover it until you know, 5 years after I owned this car, but in the back of the trunk there is actually a essentially a cigarette style power plug. So it's great. This is really useful in case you're like you could be tailgating at a football game or camping in the forest, or maybe you use this car as a work truck and you need to power some tools from your trunk. Again, that was a very smart of Toyota to put one back there, and that is one of my favorite features of the trunk. So there is power supplied in the rear trunk of the Toyota 4Runner. The 1999 Toyota 4Runner trunk offers nearly 80 cubic feet of space. That's a lot of space, with the back seats bolted down, and I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate that to you and right now. So basically this is your trunk area. If you need more storage, the rear seats do fold flat, and I will show you the nifty way it does that. So if you do need more room, basically you can fold down these seats. So what you do is basically you lift the bottom portions of it, so this folds up, and then this portion also folds up as such. So that's step one. And then you have to remove these headrests essentially, but basically you give a good pull on this little notch here, and these things fold forward, and this folds forward, Let me go on to the other side. And these fold flat. Again, I'm not going to demonstrate, but these headrests are supposed to come out, and once the headrests come out, they basically, these two will fold flat against the back of those seats. So again, you do have extra storage space if you needed by folding down those rear seats in your Toyota 4Runner. So again, a lot of utility in this 1990s SUV. And this is the trunk of your 1999 Toyota 4Runner. Okay, let's begin the test drive of this 1999 Toyota 4Runner SR5 rear wheel drive. So straight off the bat, let me describe the 4Runner in the 1999 Toyota 4Runner third generation in 3 words. Number 1, it is powerful. This car is able to tow heavy things. It is reliable. Almost a perfect school attendance actually. This car is like one of the most reliable not just cars, but one of the most reliable Toyota makes and models of all Toyotas. And the third thing that describes the third generation Toyota 4Runner is it is slow. So again, the car is powerful, it's reliable, but the biggest trade-off is that the car is slow. This car does have a V6 pushing out roughly, I think, 180 horsepower-ish with around 220 foot-pounds of torque, and it's adequate. I mean, this car, I describe this car as you know, it's not a car that's supposed to like win rally records. It's not an exotic car. This car is essentially, I describe it as a its job is to basically get you and your family from point A to point B in the most reliable and safe and semi-luxurious and comfortable way possible. And the Toyota 4Runner does that job very capably. I do want to note that if you are wishing for a little bit more power as far as in your SUV, and you're looking at this current generation 4Runner, you might want to take a look at this generation's 4Runner's bigger brother, the Landcruiser with the bigger V8. Or if you do like this generation and 4Runner and you need a little bit more power, you are in luck, because Toyota Racing Development, TRD, the race arm of Toyota, they do offer a TRD supercharger, bolt-on, 50 state legal, I believe, for this Toyota 4Runner and other Tacomas and other Toyota trucks. But my point is that if you are inkling for a little bit more power and you do like this 4Runner make and model, the third generation, TRD does offer a supercharger kit. And from my research, now in the year 2025, the TRD, you can still buy the TRD supercharger kit for this car, pretty much brand new, and it's pretty fairly priced. So again, there are options out there, but if you don't have a supercharger, yeah, this car's nothing to write home about. It's pretty slow. The 0-60 time on this car is essentially 10 plus seconds. So again, it's not fast, but it is comfortable, it is reliable, and it is safe, and it is powerful. Again, totally capable of towing. So speaking about towing, For this session of the or for this week's uploads, it's actually a two-parter because so essentially a month ago, a little background, I watched 3 things on YouTube. First, cars. 2, aquariums, fish, and the third is I'm really fascinated with like people who live the van life. So a few months back, I decided to take a month off and I rented an RV, a Coleman trailer, and it was my first time towing anything with this car. And this car currently right now has about 240,000 miles. It has a mild engine crack with an engine leak. But I can tell you right now that this car towed that 2-ton, probably more than 2-ton trailer perfectly. I drove it all across Southern California, and this car did it very well. And again, like I said, this car is powerful. It has the towing capacity. It can tow. It does not have a 4-wheel drive, but again, like I said, it does tow and it does move heavy objects very reliably, may I add. So again, this video is going to be a two-parter. We're doing 4Runner today, and next week's video is going to be a review of that exact Coleman trailer. Now getting back to the Toyota 4Runner. So today I was deciding where to do the test drive, and again, this isn't the 4-wheel drive model. I think that if this was the 4-wheel drive model, I would have opted to go up to maybe like Glendora Mountain Road or some sort of off-road course or whatnot. But I wanted to demonstrate to you that not everyone needs 4-wheel drive. There are benefits of having just a 2-wheel drive 4Runner. And the first is, in my eyes, you get a little bit better gas mileage, less parts that you need to worry about braking. And it's not to say that this car can't go off-road. I mean, it's probably not going to keep up with you know, the 4-wheel drive Jeeps and the 4-wheel drive 4Runners and the landcruisers or whatnot. But it may not be able to do that, but it can go like into the dirt or like at least dirt driving. So it is capable of like at least doing that. So again, don't knock the lack of 4-wheel drive. 2-wheel drive is pretty capable, and I'm gonna kind of demonstrate that right now. So here we are, local golf course, but if you notice that there's this little patch of dirt here, you know, maybe other SUVs aren't so capable, but I mean, if you want to, like I'm doing right now, and I want to drive into it, I perfectly can, and this car is fully capable of doing that. And I'm driving through it, no problems, no issue, no worries about getting stuck. And now back around to the road, and then back onto the dirt. So again, like this car is capable of again going into the dirt, and it's actually pretty fun actually. So again, this may not be like you know, devil's backbone or whatnot, but again, you can go into the dirt, you can go off-road or into the sand at the beach. The 2-wheel drive is capable. Continuing on, brakes. Again, this is the 1999 Toyota 4Runner. I would say the brakes are adequate. They're nothing to write home about, but again, this car is what I said it is. It does things in a way where it's capable, and it does it in the safest way possible, but it may not do it in the most like impactful way. So again, just like how the car is slow, braking is it's okay. If you watch later, if you're gonna watch the video of the trailer, I actually kind of reviewed the trailer, but also how it was towing the trailer with the Toyota 4Runner, and I can tell you right now that there are certain points where when I was towing that trailer, the weight of it sometimes overpowered the brakes, and there are a few scary moments. But again, you know, my point is that the brakes, they're okay. I'm sure there's ways that you can upgrade it or make it better, but again, it does it in a adequate, safe, responsible way. But again, it's not going to bring any sort of excitement. You're not going to get that that push your seat forward when you hit the brakes on the Brembos in your Ferrari. That's not going to happen in this car. Continuing on, yeah, so today I decided to basically just drive around town because again, I feel a two-wheel drive 4Runner, that's where it lives. It drives your kids to school. It takes you to your commute to work. If you run a business, it helps you move items, it moves people. Again, it's just an everyday car and it's reliable and it's safe, and it just gets the job done in the safest, sanest, most responsible way possible. And about reliability, I can tell you right now that this car has been the most reliable vehicle that I've ever owned, period, straight off the bat. And I've owned this vehicle for a good amount of years already, and in my good amount of years of owning this vehicle, I've never encountered many breakdowns outside of like normal maintenance. Off the top of my head, again, I remember there was I think there was like a valve gasket leak that needed to be replaced. That was a few hundred. It wasn't that bad. I believe one time, I believe it was the power steering or the brake master cylinder went out. That was a few hundred. My point is that this car has been the most reliable car that I've ever owned, and I've owned many cars. And I can tell you that if I had to drive cross country and I wanted to do it in a way where I was not worried about breaking down on the side of the road and getting attacked by you know, skinwalkers on the side of the road, I can definitely tell you that this is the car that I would take. It's not going to get you there the fastest, but it'll get you there in one piece. So again, that's what I really like. Another thing I really like about this vehicle is that parts are readily available. There's many options. There's used parts, there's new parts, and even with the new parts, pricing is pretty fair. And because this car is so analog, labor is very just straightforward. So labor cost to do repairs on this car is very low. So again, lots of good reasons to you know, drive a third generation Toyota 4Runner. And I'm not the only one. Jump on Bring a Trailer, jump on any auction site, look up any third generation Toyota 4Runner, and these things are hot. And I'm very happy that I purchased this a few years ago. Oddly, this car is also one of the cars that actually held value and maybe even maybe appreciated. So again, it's really odd how one of my oldest cars I own is actually one of the more smarter purchases that I made in my life. But again, third generation Toyota 4Runner, a classic, a modern classic, and it is in demand, whether it's two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, whether it has 300,000 miles or 200,000 miles, whether it's lifted or it's modified, whether it's completely stock. Again, there's a reason why people are seeking out this car in the year 2025. And again, outside of the reliability, styling, and just everything, just reliability, just the ease of maintenance, ease of repairs, it does everything, and does everything well. So steering wheel feel, it is very 1990s. It does have power steering, but yeah, you definitely sometimes have to power through, use your arm muscles and really power through when you're making like a U-turn or whatnot. It's not like a Mercedes-Benz like smooth like power steering. There's power steering, but you definitely have to put in a little bit of effort. Like for example, I'm making a right turn right now. You definitely feel it in your arms to make that right turn. Handling, it's okay. I mean, there is a little bit of body lean, but it's totally expected in a SUV. But it's not the type of body lean where it's like, you know, you fear that the whole thing's gonna topple over. Again, it's an SUV. When you take your turns, slow down, and if you slow down to the appropriate speed and make that right turn, there's actually no body lean. So again, this car is not a Canyon Cruiser. It is again just a vehicle with a high ground clearance that helps get you safely and reliably wherever you need to go. Seats are very comfortable. I mean, The seats are leather wrapped, but the support is definitely there. I've taken numerous hours-long road trips in this vehicle, and yeah, there's just adequate room. This car is very versatile. You can fit a lot of people, you can fit a lot of things. You can go camping, you can sleep in it, you can put a bed in there, you can go to a drive-through, you can start a business. This car is one of the most versatile cars you know, that I've had, especially with that fold-down rear seat. And let's see what else I'm missing here. Oh yeah, the sunroof. If you guys have, just opt for the sunroof in the third generation 4Runner. I really love the sunroof. It's one of my favorite features of this car. Again, when you put that down and you put all the windows down, and especially with that rear glass that folds down, like right now, I'm gonna fold it down right now. So you can see it's kind of folding down. So again, when you put all those windows down, it just feels really, it feels like you're driving a convertible. So again, you know, I'm gonna finish off the test drive with exactly doing that. You know, we're gonna go ahead and put down all the windows here, so you guys know what I'm talking about. And it's essentially, it becomes an open air experience. I mean, yeah, definitely. If you like going to the beach, or you just like to cruise, this is me cruise. Again, all the windows down, it just feels really good. I live in Southern California, and the weather today was like 95. Right now it's about 7 o'clock at night, sun's about to go down, and this is like the best time right here to cruise in your third generation Toyota 4Runner. It's just all windows down, you got your arm like perfectly rested on that door sill, and you just like go, and it's just yeah, it's just a really overall like fun and useful car. So enjoy the sunset, and I hope you guys enjoy the test drive of this 1999 Toyota 4Runner SR5 two-wheel drive model. Let's start off with reliability. I can tell you right now that this car, I've owned many different cars, from European to Italian to economy cars to Japanese cars to American cars. And I can tell you right now that this third generation Toyota 4Runner is the most reliable vehicle that you can purchase here in 2025. This car has never ever broken down on me in all my almost 8 years of ownership. Not once has it ever left me stranded. And in all my years of ownership, outside of maintenance, the only 3 major issues that I ever had with this vehicle was, the first thing was another really big perk of this 1999 Toyota 4Runner is that everything is analog, and parts are readily available. Whether you're looking for used parts or new parts from Toyota, the parts are readily available for you across all price ranges. Furthermore, the labor costs to install said parts are usually a lot more affordable than current nowadays vehicles. This car doesn't have many fancy electronics. Again, it's all mechanical, and so again, labor costs are actually very low. So again, one of the greatest things about this vehicle is that in the small chance that it does break down or it does need some sort of repair outside of routine maintenance, everything is very affordable within the few $100s. So again, that's another great pro and perk of the 1999 Toyota 4Runner. So let's talk durability. So for myself, I'm a car enthusiast, but I wouldn't say that I'm the most obsessive car enthusiast. This car has definitely missed a few oil changes and definitely have missed a few transmission flushes. But I can tell you right now that even with my moderate neglect, it has never ever had an issue or has never ever broken down on me. In fact, this car has over 240,000 miles and a partial engine leak. And last month I decided to rent a 2-ton RV, and I towed that 2-ton RV for over a month, and this car did it like a champ. It had 0 issues. So again, even when this car is not at its 100%, again, this car has a partial leaky engine block, but again, it still performs reliably despite that. So I love the durability of the 3rd generation Toyota 4Runner. And another pro of the 3rd generation Toyota 4Runner is, again, I believe it is the modern classic of today in 2025. There is a reason why there's such huge demand for both the 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive model in the used car market, especially in the past few years. Again, if it's not about that bulletproof reliability of that V6, it is the styling of it. I feel that every single design element in this car is quintessential 1990s like pinnacle design features. From the, again, sculpted fenders, they're boxy yet curved, to that hood scoop, to again the integrated fog lights, glass headlights. Again, it's just a style that again just gets better and better with age. And again, I really feel that the 3rd generation design wise captured the pinnacle of Toyota 4Runner, and even the most current generation has failed to capture that element. So again, design wise, knocked it out of the park, and it will never ever go out of style, and these will always be on the road in the future. So again, another pro is classic 90s styling that is timeless. Okay, so the first con of the 3rd generation Toyota 4Runner is definitely underpowered. Again, this car, when it was released, had 2 engine choices, a base inline 4 and an optional V6. Most people did purchase the V6, making 183 horsepower. But again, this car is not fast. It's actually pretty slow. I think it does a 0 to 60 in about 10 seconds. But what this lacks in power, it makes up for, and what I said earlier about reliability. This motor is bulletproof. It gets the job done. It may not get the job done in an exciting fashion, a la like a exotic car, but again, it'll tow things, it'll move your children, it'll move boxes, it will move yourself, and it'll get you from point A to point B in the most reliable way possible, and it will never let you down. So again, con, it's not powerful, but there's one way to offset that con, is that I believe TRD, Toyota Racing Development, makes a bolt-on supercharger for this exact motor that can definitely give it a much needed boost in horsepower. So again, it is a con, but again, it's a 4Runner. It's not meant to win racetracks. It's meant to, again, take you off-road, take you to the beach, and take your family and yourself around wherever you wish to be in the most safest, reliable form possible. So again, not powerful, but I don't think anyone expected the 4Runner to be that powerful. But again, bulletproof reliability. So the third generation Toyota 4Runner can be summed up as this. It is most definitely powerful and torquey. Most definitely it's reliable, but it is not fast. The 0 to 60 times for the Toyota 4Runner, I kid you not, is 0 to 60 in 10 plus seconds. So again, you're not going to be winning any drag races with this car. But if you need to tow your RV around, you need to tow your boats around, you need to tow your ATV around, or you need to lug around all your children and your family and so forth like that, or you use this car as a delivery truck or for your business, this car will definitely move your heavy packages, but it just won't move it fast enough. So again, it's pretty slow. It's not the most exciting thing to drive every single day. But again, I reiterate that this third generation Toyota 4Runner, its purpose isn't to go fast. Its purpose is to take you and your family from point A to point B in the most safest and most reliable way possible with the most comfort. So again, that's probably one of the biggest pros of the third generation Toyota 4Runner is that even when they upgraded it from the inline 4 to the V6, it's still slow. So again, there are options to this. If you need a little more power and towing power, and you're looking at this third generation Toyota 4Runner, maybe you can look at the same generation bigger brother Land Rover, or I'm sorry, the Landcruiser with the big V8. Or there is, as I mentioned earlier, a factory TRD, Toyota Racing Development supercharger made specifically for this motor. So that is another factory option to increase power in case you find the pro of this car being slow a big issue. So again, second pro is that this car is actually pretty slow, but it is powerful and it is reliable. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of this 1999 third generation Toyota 4Runner. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the Gas and Gavel YouTube channel. We truly do appreciate your support, and tune in next time for more exciting car reviews.